This is VEX VR, a spiral grid level 2. In spiral grid 1, we wrote that program already where the robot crosses off every square for an internal spiral. In 2, they're asking us to take that existing program and this time have the pen draw a different color for each side of the spiral. So we're going to use this existing program and modify it. So we could do a straight linear program, which we talked about is extremely manually intensive, or we can use a function. So we're going to make our own block and call it direction check, because one of the things we know that we have on this is we have a sensor, and what that sensor does, it detects heading on a 0 to 36 degree scale. So we can use that to make our right angles of 0, 90, 180, 270 to determine which direction we're heading, and then make that a variable to input what our pen color is going to be. So I'm going to come back to my blocks. I'm going to go back to my, I need to delete that off. I clicked on the wrong thing. Go back to making my block. And I need to add an input on this. And what I'm going to add for my input is simply a number. So we can see there. So I'm going to delete that original function I created because I didn't have a number input for that heading on it. So what I'm basically going to look at is, hey, if my heading equals 0, I want something to happen. So again, I can come up to my block, come back to my blocks, make a block, and I want to grab my number on this. Nope, I already did that. So I'm going to come to my variables on this, and I should be able to grab just that number block here because this is what I want. Oh, I can grab it right from there. So if my number equals 0, I want something to happen, which is a pen color. So I'm going to duplicate this, and if my number, actually I'll wait to duplicate it. What do I want to have happen when my number equals 0? Well, I want my pen color to be black. I'm going to duplicate this whole block now and say, what happens when my plain pen color or my heading equals 90? Well, I want it to be red. I'm going to duplicate this block. If my heading equals 180, I want it to be green, and duplicate. If my heading equals 270, because again, I'm making all right turns, I want this to be blue. So now I have my function set up to define what happens when I reach 0, 90, 180, and 270 in terms of my colors here. What I have to do is I have to ask my robot to check its direction. So again, the way that I'm going to check my direction is I'm going to go to my block name, right? And I'm going to say, hey, what do I want to do? I want to go to my sensing, and I want to drive in heading in degrees. So that allows me to then again check that heading. So because I do this on all of my sides, I need to take that same block here. So I'm going to duplicate that. And I know I'm going to need it 2 other times because I have this. So I'm going to have it repeat here before I do my, once I do my subtracting to my variable, and again repeat it here twice after I subtract from my variable. I will post a video now after this to show what occurs during this program.